This is Robert Phoenix, and welcome to the Astro Weather. All right, we're back for another edition of the Astro Weather. It is Wednesday, the 16th. Is that right? No, today's Thursday. What am I talking about? Today's Thursday. Tomorrow is the beginning of the big event, the Bridge Expo up in Frisco, Texas, where we are going to ascend to the fifth dimension and beyond. It's going to be wild. All these people are going to go, and none of them are going to return to their lives. They're going to figure out what happened to all these people. Where did they go? It'll be one of the great mysteries of all time. And it's like they had this amazing dance party, and the doors were shut and the music was playing, and after the dance party was over, nobody was there. It's going to be. It'll be written in the book of the ancients of ancients. See what you're missing out on? Teleportation to another world. If only it could be like that. Because sometimes in this world, it gets a little heavy, a little burdensome. And yet, the tiny bird in the backyard having breakfast with his tiny bird brethren in the bird feeder knows nothing of the burdens of this world. It is content to follow its own course of not only survival, but life itself. Anyway, how is everyone? I'm going to just kind of hang out here a little bit as people begin to arrive and congregate, gather. I had a really cool session yesterday with somebody. It was great. So they're a healing practitioner, right? They do body work and energy work, moving more towards energy than body. And their office is in an old movie theater. So somebody took the office and subdivided the movie theater up, like an old movie theater, not like some modern one, but an old one, and subdivided the office up. So the movie theater up so people could have like the different healers could have different parts of the movie theater. And she got the projection room. And guess what? In human design, she's a projector. And I thought, my God, isn't that amazing, right? And she is a 2/4 projector, right? So she's a hermit, and that projection room is like a cave because there's only one entrance. There's only one entrance with the projection room. That's it. That is called Caves Exclusive inside of Human Design. And yours truly is a cave exclusive guy. So, yeah, it's fun. My work is fun. My work is good. I enjoy it. And I hope that you enjoy your work as well. If not, find something enjoyable about it or find another work. Although today it's hard. It's really hard to find because everything is just like cheaped out. The migrant labor pool has really brought down. I mean, and you may not be, I don't know, paving a road for a living or, hanging a door frame for a living. But because those wages are low, it brings everything else down. And yeah, there are some things that we're just not going to be good at anymore. Like I have no interest in paving a road in 110-degree heat here in Texas. And let's be honest, there are other people that are probably better suited for that, right? So, hold on one second. Hold on one second here. Yeah, there are some people that are just better suited for that, and that's okay. That's okay. I am a sponsor of responsible eugenics. I support responsible. Some. Hey, look. Some people are. I'm not cut out to climb a fucking tree. Right? I'm 6'3". You know, I'm not cut out to climb a tree. You know, one time when I was living in California, I've shared this story before. I was hitchhiking. So I was like, I don't know, maybe 41. And I had a little bit of a glitch with my license, let's put it that way. And I was hitchhiking from La Honda, which is way back in the woods near the ocean, and I had to get over the hill to Redwood City. And I thought, let me stick my thumb out. And so I got a ride from this guy, and he was from Mexico, and he was definitely indigenous. He was kind of an indigenous person, and he had a nice pickup truck, and he had a Bible that was on his dashboard, and he spoke pretty good English, and he told me about his life, and he came to this country with nothing, right? But what he could do is he could trim trees, and he could climb fucking trees. You know, and he had the build for it. He was like about 5'4", 5'5", you know, kind of round, you know, didn't have a problem, you know, dealing with tree world. And so what he did is that area has a ton of eucalyptus trees. And so you have to clear these eucalyptus trees and clip the leaves. And what he did, it was genius. He would ask the people whose eucalyptus trees he was either cutting, clearing, whatever, if he could keep the leaves, and he called them the seeds, which were the eucalyptus pods. He found somebody that would process those and turn them into eucalyptus oils. So he was getting paid to clip the trees, and then he took it away, and then he got it processed. And then he told me that he and his brother saved up enough money so that they could have a tree farm in Central California where they would grow their own trees of all these different species and then sell them to, you know, homes and builders. And I'm like, this motherfucker is industrious, right? This is a guy who God gave him a skill. Right. And the skill was get up that tree and trim this motherfucker. And then he then had, you know, this idea, let's figure out how to profit off of the eucalyptus detritus. Tip my hat to that dude. That was a very enlightening drive. You never know, you know, who you're going to run across and what their backstory is. You may just think somebody's really like basic or fundamental, and then they tell you some of the things that they've done and accomplished. And that's one of the things that Jordan Peterson, I think, really kind of hit on. And we know that Jordan Peterson is a little goofy, especially. I'm not sure if he's going to make it. But one of the things that Jordan Peterson said, which I think is really, really true, is that if you cut yourself off from the ability of somebody having something to teach you, then you're cutting yourself off from God, essentially, right? You have too much hubris, you have too much pride. So that's the one thing that I think is a really solid takeaway, is that you never know who you're going to run across and what you have to learn from them. Okay, so just a quick little side note on the thumbnail for today. So the thumbnail for today comes from, I believe it was the last episode of season 2 in Star Trek. And it was going to be it was kind of a pilot for another series that Gene Roddenberry was working on. And it was this guy, his name was, I believe, Gary Seven. And he was a time traveler. And that's how he was able to contact the Enterprise. And the Enterprise is able to connect with him in kind of modern day Earth being the mid 60s, which is when the series took place. And this guy was kind of like a futuristic James Bondian kind of character. He was very cool. And his secretary was played by Terry Garr, one of Terry Garr's first roles in kind of a major TV show. So Terry Garr played his secretary, and he had a black cat named Isis. And he had a telepathic relationship with this black cat. It was a very cool kind of premise, actually. And at the end of the show, the black cat turns into the woman who is on the thumbnail. And for years, nobody knew who she was. She was one of these mystery cast members from the first Star Trek series. And then finally, they went through like the call sheets or something for the show. And they found out that her name was April Tatro. And April Tatro went on to have a very interesting career as an actress in Hollywood for quite a long time after that. But beyond being an actress, she was also a contortionist. Now, you're not going to see, I'm going to have to burn this because this is what we always have to do. Black screen, got to burn it, right? Stop the share. Let me show you this. Come on. Let's go back here. Let me show you. This is, now you keep in mind, this is April Tatro, and she's in her 50s. That's her on the left. This is the beauty on today's thumbnail. And guess what? April is born in April. She's an Aries. She's got that flaming red hair here, and she's in her 50s. She's about 55, and she's doing this contortionist act. Now, this is Ellen, of course, and this is Ellen's TV show where she had the coffee house, right? This is when the sort of the whole gay thing takes off. This and Will and Grace. You can't see her. Why can't you see her? Man, this is so fucked up. I'm sorry. I just, when you can't trust the goddamn technology, there it is. I had to do it twice. It fucking pisses me off. Anyway, that's April Tatro right there. She's 55 years old. And there's goofy ass Ellen. And that was the TV show. So this is the gal who, years much younger, played Isis, the shape-shifting, I guess, concubine of the character Gary Seven. I always loved that episode. I always thought it was cool to have a telepathic cat. Everybody needs a telepathic cat. I had a telepathic experience yesterday with Jasper. He got up on my chest and he was like, I'm going to heal your heart. I'm going to heal your heart, dude. It's like, his face was right in my face. I'm coming in. I'm going to put my cat energy on your heart. Yes, Jasper. That was such a good thing you did. Okay. Let's talk about our sponsor. Then let's get into the weather. I am so excited about our new sponsor. And guess what? I don't always like use the word should, but you should be as well. And I'll tell you why. It's because we have a special deal. We have a special deal with Silver Botanicals. Okay. You can get a bundle of their products. You get the Shield sanitizer. Now, I've used this Shield sanitizer on my countertop. I've used it on my stove. I have one of those, funky stoves where there's no visible burner. It's like a stovetop that's got, I don't know what you call it, glass or whatever, right? Like I have one of those. And this Silver Shield sanitizer works great on those surfaces. The oral tongue care tastes amazing. Your mouth will feel like any kind of bacteria that's hanging out in there, gone. You got the nano silver that's in there. You get deodorant. You get the botanical C serum for your face, right? You get the skin, the sensitive skin formula roll on, which is the deodorant. You get the Silver Guard gel, the Skin Guard Silver Gel. So if you have stuff going on with your hands, some people have even said their spots have gone away. And then, if every now and then you get the funky feet, you got the Silver Foot Shield. So if you're active in gyms or running or even walking, like if you do a lot of walking, you're going to put some barometric pressure on your feet. So they got you covered here. They got you covered. And this is till 11/11, and you're getting $20 off the sampler. And the good thing about this is that you can try whatever it is that you like here. And I like this, I like this, I like this. And we'll have some other things moving forward. Like the next value add, we'll have something a little bit different. But this is for us specifically for this show. And again, Dean and Ray, they live and they work in San Marcos. They're a local business, and they are taking on the big guys, right? And you order directly from them. You don't go to Amazon. You don't go to any third party. You're getting directly from Silver Botanicals. They ship right out of San Marcos, and they'll get there very, very quickly. So anyway, just got to give a shout out to our guys over there at Silver Botanicals and get a little co-branding there. And they love the show as well. So we love people that love the show. It's just a reach around. It's just a nice, it's a hug. It's a hug. All right. Let's just do a quick little check here. We got Janine, we got Barbara Boots, we got the new next. She looks like the type of danger. So another interesting story about April Tatro. After they did that episode, old William Shatner was interested in her. He said, we should do lunch. And April Tatro, who was engaged to be married at that time, said, sure, why not? Do you think she got in one last little trip to the stars before she tied the holy knot of matrimony? Couple of Aries. Shatner's in Aries. So there you go. Jackie Delaria, Debisu, Devin Dewar, Double D. There's Benito Diaz. What's up, brother? Mary Grether. Grant in the house. More NYC. Janice Phillips. She's here. Let's see what's Glemma. Hi, Glemma. Renee R. Hi, Renee R. There's Tom Jordan. Reading some Thor Day, Thor at the door. It's Thursday. Wits Interest, Star Trek, and all the beauties of the day. I know I've been having fun finding these women. Trust me. There he is, the big cheese. Yes, you can still sign up for the live stream. It is a way for you to be a part of it. And I was chatting with David yesterday. He's on the road. In fact, I can even tell you where he is right now. Let's see. Where is he? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like David's still sleeping. He's still sleeping. He's at an undisclosed rest stop somewhere, catching some Z's. But I can chart his progress. But we were talking. He's loaded with equipment. And it's so cool because we'll be able to be mobile. He's got a mobile switcher. We can go through the audience. It's gonna be great. You know, it's amazing. Like U2 had the big Zootopia tour right? The October Baby Tour, and they were doing a lot of this stuff where they were, going into the audience and Coldplay. Obviously, that happened with Coldplay and that woman and her husband, the CEO, getting busted. Like, that's all big time technology. David's got it, and so we'll be able to do that stuff at the bridge. Let's see. Josie's Jazzy Junk is here. Lisa Ann White, Lana Winkler, Magic Cat. Hey, Magic Cat, you're right in alignment with today's thumbnail. Liddy Lou, heading outside. Capture the sun's codes. Go get them. Bo is here. Hey, Bo. Whoop, whoop, back. Blood hair. Got you live. Yes. Thanks for being here. Cybercombs. We like this. Let's put this up, Cybercombs. I'm going to put you up here on the comments. Can't go, but we'll be there virtually. Good. We're good. You got to feed the animals. That often happens. That often happens. Kelly B's here. Hi, Kelly B. Let's see. Laura E's with us from the new apartment. Congratulations. We had a nice little thing for Kelly B. Thank you, guys. Good job. All right, let's see who else we have here. That's good, man. That's good. It's good to get a boost from the community, and it's good to get a boost in your new life. Yep. There you go. Let's see who else we have. Nice glasses. Oh, thank you, Magic Cat. They should be. I paid enough for them. Physical jobs can be easy on the mind, at least. It depends. I would say yes. I used to really enjoy gardening. I've done a lot of physical jobs. Some of them were more my lane. I was a mail carrier. Would you consider that a physical job? I was a mail carrier. I didn't walk. I was in my car. I was a rural route carrier. I liked that. That was a very mercurial job. I was good at it too. Yes. Oh, Tom wants me to tell me, hit the like. Hit the like and subscribe. We can do that. Like and subscribe. That's right. We can do a little different version too. How about that? Like and subscribe. I lost 200 people. I don't know. I think it might have been the Charlie Kirk and Eric Kirk commentary. Let's see. Dang, that bundle it is a great deal. Totally great deal. Get you kick started. It is. These guys are, I'm telling you, we're going to have Dean on the show, and you're going to hear about Dean's background. You're going to hear about the length they go to get all of these essential oils. For the most part, they're organic, to the best of their ability. And I've been there. I've seen the vats, right? I mean, they took us through the entire process of, where everything's stored, where the breakdown of the nanoparticles takes place, everything. It is so cool. And it's two dudes. It's two dudes and a skeleton crew, and they're pumping out high quality product. These are the types of businesses that really could use our support, and they'll support you by, guess what? Giving you high quality products you can use in your home, use in your body. They're not going to fuck you up. They're not going to have any kind of weird chemicals, right? So again, it's just like Chris over at True Hemp Science. It's a total win. All right, let's get into the weather. We're about 25 minutes into this. So let's see. No, we don't want that. I'll be a vehicle, baby. I'll take you anywhere you want to go. I'll be a vehicle, mama. Because I love you so. And I need you. Want you. Got to have the time. Great God in heaven, you know I love you. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Who doesn't like that song? The Ides of March. All right, give me 1 second here. I was a little. I'm going to do my brand. I was a little bit on the left. I could probably do Brando if I wanted to. He had such a weird voice. Brando was a weird guy. He was certifiably weird, but interesting. You cannot deny that Marlon Brando was interesting. All right, here we go. My mother would say, he's so strange. That man is so strange. All right, here's the weather. Let's zoom in a little. Okay. The sun is conjunct my Venus today. Maybe I should play the lottery. Texas is not good for lottery luck in my chart. I got Saturn in my fifth house here in Texas. No fun. No fun. No lottery luck. In California, I had Jupiter in my fifth house. There'd be times I'd actually, I'd go to a gas station. I'd buy a scratcher, $50, sometimes $100, sometimes 20. There was this one gas station on San Pablo Avenue. San Pablo and Gilman. Man, that gas station was a freaking cash register. I'm telling you. But I'd gas up and I have my kid with me. So I'm going to buy a lottery ticket and I'd win. But Jupiter's not here. But today, if I was going to buy a lottery ticket, it'd be today. Maybe I'll test the astrological waters. Sun conjunct Spica. The world is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. This is one of those days where beauty stands out and ugliness fades into a soft focus in the background. Today's a day where we can kind of indulge and celebrate beauty. Beauty can be in anything. It can be in nature. It could be in an unassuming person, an uncertain smile, to quote but there's also, today's a high degree of infatuation today. High degree of infatuation. You can fall in love in a split second. Watch out for those, because you got that Sun-Pluto square, bit of a honey trap. What seems to be a momentary flirtation might get you stuck into something a bit more than you bargained for. Yeah, that's right. The innocuous flirtation could lead to something much more potent. And then you got to balance things out. Oh, what do I do? Is this person really interested in me? What about the person I'm with? What about the person they're with? How do I deal with this? And I wonder, just, in our society, we have this really distorted picture of beauty, right? It's almost always associated with youth. You guys ever see that show? It's always on at night, and it's got like thousands and thousands of viewers. It's called Fit and Fresh, and it's usually these three black dudes, and they have all these girls who are on the show, and they're talking about life, relationships, sexual situations, sexual questions. It's And, it's an incredibly, incredibly popular show. And people watch it mostly for the eye candy, although every now and then I would say that some of that eye candy is being purchased at Woolworths, but that's another story altogether. But that's how we view beauty, right? But beauty comes in all shapes. I know it sounds cliche, ages, right? But we're celebrating beauty today. The sun is conjunct Spica, and we have the moon in Leo, and it feels like fall, but it's got a little bit of a springtime ring in the air to it. The old sap is flowing here, right? And Jupiter just makes everything bigger. Watch out for spending today. Today is a day where you can overspend. So you convince yourself, I really need that. I really need that. And you use it one time. Now, the one time you use it, you may be the most popular person that at the event for a couple hours. Back into the closet it goes, never to be seen again. That's up to you, right? But today is one of those days where vanity and luxury are kind of at the top of the list. So watch out. Watch out. You know what I used to do back when I was really scraping for money? I'd go shopping and I'd put things in my basket. And then when I was done, I'd ask myself, do I really need this? Do I really need this? Do I really need this? And like a lot of times checkers would hate me. And I'd have about 3 or 4 items for go backs. And it was because I got to walk around the store and feel what it was like to have it in my cart. And if I really needed it. And I didn't have a problem with it. It was a way for me to make a choice and then eliminate the choice based on not having that moment of instant gratification. By the time I got to the checkout stand, my infatuation for that product was over. I don't really need this. So I used to do that. I don't do that so much anymore. Now I know what I'm trying to achieve and get and all that shit, right? Venus right behind, well, it's not right behind, it's 20 degrees behind the sun, but it's also in that grand trine. And it does add to a bit of the illusion with the Neptune opposition, convincing yourself that, well, if I have this, and usually the this is your relationship to something. Yeah, I still can't, I haven't really learned my lesson with cars. And, and I'll look at a really hot Mustang and go, man, I wouldn't mind having something like that. But I still have this headache of this fucking truck that I've been trying to fix and ultimately sell. By the time this truck is fixed, somebody will have to pay. You know what I want to do? I want to sell this truck for silver. That's what I want to do. I want to sell this truck for silver. That's my goal. I just made it up right now. Once I get this truck running, I'm going to say I'll take silver, and I'll take $20,000 in cash or $15,000 in silver. How does that sound? That's a good deal, because that silver is going to go through the roof, right? That's going to go through the roof. But that's the Neptune-Venus opposition. You convince yourself that you need something, and it's that thing that it's a lot of times it's the external thing that you think will complete you. And I still have, these random love affairs with Mustangs. Like, man, I'd look really good in that Mustang. At a certain age, there's the flex, and I have a flex car, but it's not the kind of flex car that is like that. Like I've got a 1983 Chevy Suburban. It's a really nice car, and it's functional. It seats a bunch of people. I can put stuff in there. Not a lot of people have this car. So that's kind of my flex car, but it's not really, a super hot roddy thing. But this Neptune-Venus opposition gets you thinking about those things. Yeah, if I have this, right? Because Neptune is now enshrined with Jupiter And it's like, yeah, all I have to do is I just need this one thing to complete everything, right? I just need this one thing to complete everything and it'll all be good, right? It'll all be good for a minute, for a minute. And then that wears off. And, this is why people, swap cars more than mates in the villages. You get that, you're just always on the move for something new. Mercury's catching up to Mars. I think this is good. It's out of the Pluto square. Now we're coming in. We're coming into trine Jupiter. This is where you can make really, really good choices. Really, if you want long-term investment, this is the time. And we live in a world where long-term investment is an oxymoron. But long-term investment in all things that are Scorpio, invest in an undertaking business. Yeah, that's a long-term investment because people are going to pass away. That is a captive demographic. No, but seriously, I mean, one of the things that you can also do is look at, I got to do this. They have these apps that show where all your subscriptions are. I got to get it because some of these subscriptions I have are just out of control, and I gotta cut those weeds, separate the wheat from the chaff. We're still in Grand Trine territory, getting more. We're in that Venus, Pluto, Uranus Grand Trine, right? We're still there, and I really like it. It's like connecting with people that are not necessarily part of, your zip code. And you may be that person. Well, gee, I didn't know somebody like you could be so interesting. Dare to be interesting. We have an inconjunct with Saturn and the moon. I think as far as consumer confidence goes, that doesn't bode very well. Just saying. Right? Just saying. Doesn't bode very well. So again, what you invest in should be a long-term investment. Maybe you want to invest in, more prepping stuff, or it just depends. But that opportunity, I'm telling you, if you have the ability to get in and buy some real estate now, these aspects, Mercury, Mars. So we had Laura move into a new apartment. That's a great transit to move into a new space. Excellent. I mean, you didn't buy the place, but you occupied a new dwelling. And I think we're just getting started with there's a lot of water. There's a lot of big water starting to happen. And once Neptune retreats back into Pisces, here come the floods. And we've had a very arid and dry time here. It's like ever since we had the flood, we haven't had hardly any rain here in Texas. And I'm not sure what's worse, soil that gets too much water because we have so much clay and it can't absorb it, or soil that doesn't get enough water. So when the water does come, it takes a certain amount to interpenetrate the soil and at least get to the clay. Texas it depends on where you are. If you're in the Central Valley, you can get some good growing. But here in this region, we just have so much clay, and we have a lot of other hard minerals like granite, and it's just, it makes farming a bit difficult here. But I like today. Today's got great energy. Even that Sun-Pluto square, I think people are much more willing. Like, you could dig into that Sun-Pluto square if you have difficult things to do. That shouldn't be a problem. But today, if you find the right sort of current, right? It's a day that is imbued with grace and the potential of doing without doing. How cool is that? So go with the flow and lean into what you need to get done, and you'll be fine. Don't have a lot of Earth. We have the sun. Let's see, what is it? South Node. That's it. So Liddy Lou has the right idea. Get out, put your feet on the ground. Remember that you're in this terrarium, and you're part of the terrarium in your own way. So that's it. That's your Astro Weather. Okay, let's talk our True Hemp Science star of the day. So our True Hemp Science star of the day is none other than Tim Robbins. You see, I used a typewriter font to give him a bit of a literary look. So Tim Robbins, 2 years older than me. Tim Robbins is 66 years old. Can you believe that? 66 in just in hold on, 58. So no, he's 60. He's six. Tim Robbins is 68 years old today. Is that right? 67. He's born in 58. He's 67 years old. He's 2 years older than me. So Tim Robbins is pushing 70 years old. That's kind of mind-blowing, isn't it? Let's get into his chart, because I think there's a lot that we can derive from his life and his career. But before I do, I just have to talk about True Hemp Science, the other sponsor of today's show. The Silver Botanical guys got you covered on the outside and a bit on the inside with your mouth. True Hemp Science has your insides covered, your mind covered. Between the two of these products, both of whom have roots right here in Texas, you're covered, right? True Hemp Science, what you do is you go to their website, truehempscience.com, spend $100 or more, type in 15MINS, you get the goodie bag. It's an order on top of the order. Take this stuff every day. It resets your cells. Think of it as the lubricant for your system and your brain. There are different varieties. You can always call them up, have a consultation. $150 more gets you free shipping, and you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. Doesn't get much better than that. TrueHempScience.com, your one-stop shop for all things CBD. All right. So Tim Robbins' mother and father play a huge role in his life. He was born in West Covina, California, but his parents were involved in the entertainment and the music business. And when he was a wee lad, their political beliefs and their professional lives took them to New York City, where they lived in Greenwich Village. And his parents were kind of part of the New York music folk scene and rubbing shoulders with Peter, Paul, and Mary, and Phil Oakes and all those people, Bob Dylan, who were all there, right? And I'm sure that Marty Sheen came into play as well, because both of his parents were Roman Catholics, and you can see the moon and Saturn down in the fourth house. And what's interesting about the moon and Saturn, it's kind of in a wide conjunction. Now, he never married Susan Sarandon, but they had 2 children together, and she was much older than he was. And that is like the older wife or the older mother, but the imprint of his parents is really profound in his chart. And so you can see the values that he got from them. And it's the moon in Sag and Saturn in Sag. And again, he has this very religious Roman Catholic upbringing. But by the time he's 6, the church is changing. There's Vatican II, and it's becoming way more liberal, right? So this is the liberal infusion that's coming into Tim Robbins' life. It is coming through his folky parents' protest music. It's what he grew up with. And in Sagittarius, it's very, very philosophical, right? Very, very philosophical. Now, he's got Pluto on his ascendant, and Tim Robbins had a very brooding, he has a very brooding kind of nature to him. There's his first movie, which is quite good. It's directed by a guy by the name of Tony Bill, and it's called Five Corners. And one of the other actors in Five Corners is John Turturro. So John Turturro, I think Jodie Foster might be in it as well. And it's a place in New York called Five Corners. And it's where Tim Robbins' character comes of age with social justice. And eventually, by the end of the movie, he winds up getting on a bus and going to the South. He's a freedom rider, and he's going to go march for the rights of the segregated blacks down in the South. But in that movie, he has a very, very brooding presence. And even with the Shawshank Redemption, right? Like, he's intense and very secretive. He's really able to, he's got some gravitas, Tim Robbins. It's that Pluto on his ascendant, right? Like, this is somebody who's very scorpionic in a lot of ways. What I find interesting is that Uranus, right here in the 12th house, to me, that is the epitome of the Shawshank Redemption. Like, if we're looking at a chart for movies, this is the Shawshank Redemption, because the 12th house is prisons. And what does he want to do? He wants to break out. That's what he wants to do. He wants to break out. And he wants to go all the way across that canal of shit, right? To get free over there with Chiron in the 6th house. But he's got that natally. So he's restless. Tim Robbins is restless. He's a restless dude. He's got a very weird chart, right? Like, the highest planet in his chart is Saturn. So even though he aspired to be an actor, he's got Mars conjunct his midheaven, and he can play a multitude of roles. He can play a goofball. He can play he can do comedy. He needs variety. He needs a lot of variety as far as an actor goes. But really, what Tim Robbins was aspiring to and has aspired in his life was to have a family. And I think he's got kids from his love life's kind of a mess now. I think he's going through a challenging time in his silver years, right? Very challenging. But he's one of these guys that has a lot of, he just, not just with Pluto, but he commands gravitas, because he's got Sun, Trudeau, Venus. He's got Ceres. They're all in the 2nd house. So Tim Robbins is never going to have to worry about money, even though he might have grown up with parents who probably fantasized about being poor. He'll always have dough. He'll be fine. And the thing is, he's really, again, we got into this story of Libra with Charlie Kirk on Sunday night. He plays the role of balance, right? Balance and justice. And even in the Shawshank Redemption, what does he do? He delivers justice. He delivers balance to the warden, who is absolutely brutal to him and brutal to others. And I think you'll find this in a number of Tim Robbins roles, where even in his first movie, Five Corners, he plays somebody who balances out these other people who meet in this intersection in New York, where they have very differing points of view. And what does he do? He decides to take the freedom bus and be involved in social justice. And that really, in a lot of ways, also kind of informs his life, right? Like, he is a liberal. And when we get into the second house, we're dealing with how a person's material values are determined. And so for him, it's about equality, it's about balance, it's about fairness, all those things. And he you can see this worked out in some of his movies, but clearly in his life. I think he was one of the few people that might have recanted his position on the old Jabberoo, right? I think he's one of the few people. I'll tell you one thing about Tim Robbins. He seems very placid. And I bet he's a cool guy, but you don't want to piss this guy off, right? Like, he's got that Mars-Pluto square, and he's big. Tim Robbins is about 6'5"? When he was young, Mars-Pluto square. This is not a guy you wanted to piss off at all. And I bet you, I can't be certain about this. I bet you he writes poetry. I bet you Tim Robbins is a poet, because he's got this Mercury-Neptune conjunction, Mercury conjunct Jupiter. I bet he's a total poet. And I bet you, I'll tell you what else I bet you he does. I bet you he writes letters. He writes letters. I bet you he writes love letters. He's a romantic. Tim Robbins is a romantic. Like, this is clearly in his chart. The Chiron trine, again, sixth house, that's his work, his purpose, his service. He's there for the underdog. That's what he's there for. He is there for the underdog. And again, his mother and father gave him and imbued him with all those values. They gave him the philosophical, and again, for him at that time, religion was really turning. And his choice for women has, like, Susan Sarandon's beautiful, but having and she became a very late mother, and having somebody like her in his life is a Moon Uranus trine. And he met her on the set of Bull Durham, where they're supposed to be playing lovers, right? And he plays kind of a goofy ass pitcher named Nuke LaLoosh. I've never seen Bull Durham for a number of reasons, mostly because of Kevin Costner. I don't like Kevin Costner. David and I were talking about this last night. We both are not big Kevin Costner fans. Anyway, but you can see that Moon Uranus trine, Saturn Uranus trine, like was he looking for his mother with Susan Sarandon? Question mark? I don't know. Maybe she approximated the same kind of liberal and progressive woman his own mother was. And maybe he could not find that in other women his age, because it seems to me like he grew up quickly. And when he was doing Bull Durham, I think, which came out sometime in the 80s, maybe the early 80s, he might have been in his early 20s. And I would think that a lot of the women in Hollywood that were his age were just not sophisticated. They weren't wise. They didn't understand the kind of how the world worked. And Susan Sarandon did. And she matched up with his ideals, with how he was initiated into this, kind of post-Vatican II Catholicism, liberation theology, sanctuary cities. That was it, right? It was an easy, and she was a looker even in Bull Durham days. So that was an easy choice for him to make. His oldest son is 31 years old. And he has another, and he's had but he's gone in the other direction. Like, he secretly married this Italian woman Like nobody knew. Nobody knew he got, and that's Pluto on the ascendant. And all of a sudden he's getting an annulment. We didn't even fucking know you were married. How does that work? So it's a very interesting chart. And you can see him in the chart. You can just see all those liberal, progressive, make life more fair, balanced sorts of core values down in that second house. And of course, the acting is there. We can't deny the acting. And for me, that's Gemini. It's putting on all these different faces. It's taking on different roles, allowing him to shapeshift and be different characters. Anyway, there you go. There's your True Hemp Science star of the day, one Tim Robbins. And with that, we're done. Thanks for being here. The next time you see me will be probably on Saturday. I'm not sure if David and I are going to be streaming the VIP event, TBD. Let's see where he is. Let's see. We'll give you a David update here. Let's see if he's moved out of the okay. He's on the road. He's on the road. He is on Highway 10, and he's on his way. He's in Deming, New Mexico. Deming, New Mexico. Don't tell the people in Deming, though. I've eaten in Deming. That's some good chili. Get me a good chili anywhere in Mexico. All right. No 15 today because I got to get ready for this event. Next week, we'll have some 15, and we'll start cranking that back up again. I mean, there's almost too much to talk about. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. You know the drill. Hit like and subscribe if you do. Also, leave a comment. Comments help the algorithm. I lost 200 people. I can't afford to lose 200 people because YouTube always unsubscribes people. Let's get those 200 people back. So go ahead and subscribe here. And let's get back up to 15,600. Let's try to get at least to 16 grand by the end of the year. Let's do that. Use your head in order to discern what's real. Your heart said what's possible. I'm Robert Phoenix. Treat each other well. Take care of yourselves. God bless you. Love you all. Bye for now.